Haboim. Welcome everyone. We're about to begin Be'ezras Hashem together on Daf Lamed Hey Amud Aleph, starting with the new Mishnah on Daf Lamed Dalid Amud Beis. After we're taught that the Kohen performs the Korban Tamid Shel Shachar, in this case the Kohen Gadol on Yom Kippurim, which is the performance of all everyday service, and therefore the Kohen Gadol who performs it does so with his gold investments. Now the Mishnah turns to the Avodas Hayom. Specifically the Avodas Hayom, which is Miyuchad Yom Kippur, is the inner Avodas. We call it Avodas Pnimiyos, because the Iker is in the Kodesh Kadoshim, and it really includes the Maise Para of Chatos, as well as the Seir, the Seirin, the Seir HaChatos, the Seir Azazel, and finally the Haktor of the Ketores in the Kodesh HaKadoshim. Says the Mishnah, Heviu lebeis haparva. They bring the Kohen Gadol to the Beis Haparva, where there was a mikvah on its roof, ubekodesh hayosa, and it was located in the Azara, in a Mokom Kodesh. Pirsu sadin shel butz beino levein ha'am. They spread a sheet of linen between him and the people, that he should then have privacy for tznius purposes. Kidesh yodav araglov uposhat. He then sanctifies his hands and his feet, and this is the water that is from a golden kli, not from the kiyar. And then he's poshat, and then he takes off his garments that he was wearing before. Those are the garments of the golden investments that he wore in the morning service of the Korban Tamid Shel Shachar. Rabbi Meir, that's the order according to the Tanna Kama. Rabbi Meir oimer poshat. Rabbi Meir is cholik, and he says he first takes off his garments, then he's kidesh yodav araglov, and then he sanctifies his hands and his feet when he's not yet clothed. Yorad v'toval olav v'nistapig. It says over here that he then goes down and is toivel in the mikvah. He goes out of the mikvah and he dries himself off. Heviu lo big day lovan. They bring him the big day lovan for him to do then the avodah of the avodas pnimiyos. Lovash v'kidesh yodav araglov. Now he wears his garments, the 4 linen garments, and he then is sanctifying his hands and his feet. The Mishnah continues, B'shachar hayo loivesh pilusin shel shnei masar. Here's lavdavka when it said b'shachar. It means close to the shachar, because the shachar we already said the Korban Tamid Shel Shachar was performed before. Now we're talking about when he then wears the morning, for now, the morning 4 vestments that are of linen. He wears them that are iplusin shel shnei masar. These are very good quality, highest quality type of linen garments. There are 1,200 zuz. Mana bein ha'arboim, shnei masar amana rather, 1,200 zuz. Bein ha'arboim handivim shel shmona me'os zuz. Divrei Rabbi Meir. And he wears other garments, the 4 linen ones, in the later part of the day. When he wears those are even more precious, according to Rabbi Meir, and they are worth, they're not more precious. They are 800 zuz. They're less precious in terms of the value of this type of fabric. The Chacham say that he wears the garments, the 4 garments in the morning, which are of more value, the value of 1,800 zuz. In the afternoon, he wears less valuable ones of 1,200 zuz. Haklol shloishim mana. Altogether, it's a total of 30 mana. Elu mishel tzibur. This that we're talking about, these garments that he's wearing, is the value is given by the funds of the tzibur. However, if he wants to add to even higher level of fabric, he wants to wear linen that is more valuable, even more costs even more money, then he'll have to add his own money for that. Adkan, the Mishnah, the Gemara now says in Daf Lamed Hey Amud Aleph, my parva. It says that the Kohen Gadol, in his 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th Tevila in the mikvah is done in the Azara, in the Beis HaParva. Asked the Gemara, what is this name, Beis HaParva? What is Parva? On Rav Yosef, Parva Amagusha. Parva is the name of a sorcerer. Why would they name the lishka, the place where he does the mikvah, after a person who was a sorcerer who built this place, this Parva? Because we're talking about somebody who did tshuva and he abandoned his ways of being a sorcerer. Tosfos says in Dir Masr, Parva Amagusha Pirush Ba'oruch V'zel Shoynoi Yesh Min HaChachamim She'oimrim. There are those sages who said, Ki Chofar Mechilo Tachas HaKarko Bekodesh Ashir Avoidas Kohen Gadol. He dug underneath the Kodesh HaKadoshim, underneath the Beis HaMikdash, in order to then witness, be able to then see the Kohen Gadol doing his avodah in the Kodesh HaKadoshim Yom Kippurim. V'hergishu HaKohanim b'chafira u'matzu. And the Kohanim, they sensed, they saw that what he was doing, and they found him. It doesn't say what they did with him, but I imagine they put him to death. And therefore, as a result of this incident, V'kara oiso al-lishka al-shmoi, they named the lishka of Beis HaParva after his name. People should be warned to know what had happened to somebody who attempted to dig a tunnel underneath the Beis HaMikdash to witness what happened in the Kodesh HaKadoshim. The Gemara quotes the Mishnah, Perisu Sadin Shel Boots. They spread a sheet of linen between him and the people so he can be toivel in the mikvah in privacy. Ask the Gemara, My Shno Shel Boots. What's this emphasis of linen? Answers the Gemara, Amar Rav Kahana, Kedei Sheyakir She'avodas Hayoim Bebigdei Boots. The Kohen Gadol who normally wears the 8 bigdei kuna, which are of gold investments, so he should be reminded that on this day he's going to do avodas that require dafka, the 4 linen vestments, and therefore the bigdei boots will be reminded him ayidei the sadin shel boots. The Mishnah is quoted, B'shachar hayalovesh pelusin shel shmona asar. According to Rabbi Meir, he wears special linen garments in the morning of 1,200 mana, and of 12 mana, which is 1,200 zuz, and in the afternoon of 800 zuz, which is 8 mana. Where the Chachamim say that in the morning he wears the value of 18 mana, which is 1,800 zuz, and in the afternoon 12 mana, which is 1,200 zuz. So the Gemara says, Vetano teaches in the Brayso, Minyana also la'ashmeinan. Does the Mishnah, does the Tana come to teach us the count? We cannot count ourselves that 18 and 12 equal 30. So why does sum up the value of the linen garments that he wears both in the morning and the afternoon? Hakamash Mulan says the Gemara, Debotzer mahani lo na'avid. Less than this amount we will not do. However, diuk is ibotzer mahani utfei hani less lanba. If we make it less, let's say the morning, make it a little bit less than the value of 1,800. Let's say 1,600, and we then bump up the value of the afternoon to be 1,400. That's also okay. The kuli alma mihas the shocha adifim minolan. From here we see both Rabbi Meir and the Chachamim both agree that the morning vestments are of greater value than the afternoon linen vestments. From where do we know? Omar Rav Huna Brei Rav Eloi. Omar Kro. This says in the pasuk, bad, 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 bad. 4 times it says the word bad. I'll read the pasuk in its entirety. Kisoines bad kodesh yilubash. He will be wearing the holy kisoines of bad, the tunic made out of bad, of linen. Umichnesei bad yubis al besaroi, and he will have then the pants made out of linen on his flesh. Ube'avneit bad yachkor, and the avneit will be then also made out of bad. That's the satchel, the belt. Ubemitznefes bad yitznoif, and the head covering, the turban, will be also then made out of bad. Bigdei kodesh heim v'rochas b'mayim es besoru levesham. So here we have, in regards to the Kohen Gadol wearing the morning vestment, it says the word bad 4 times. Muvchar bebad, to teach me that it should be the choicest of all linen. top of Lamed Hey Amud Beis. Lamed Hey Amud Beis says on the top, Meisvei asking the following question: Ulehavoshoy begodim acherim lo yakadshu es ha'am bebigdeihem. Here it says that they'll wear other clothes, referring to the Kohen Gadol after the performance of his avodah. And it says at the end of the avodah, he will not be mekadesh by wearing his garments with the people. In other words, when he's done with the avodah, he'll turn back to his regular clothing. Ask the Gemara, my lav acherim chashuv mehen. When it says uleveishoy begodim acherim, when it says in this pasuk, v'lovshu begodim acherim, does not refer to greater garments. So therefore, when he's done with the first avodah, and it says v'lovshu begodim acherim, it's mashra that he wears even greater garments than the first. And yet we said in our Mishnah that everybody agrees it's a greater, more refined type of linen, a higher quality in the morning than in the afternoon. Answers the Gemara loy. Doesn't mean that. When it says acherim, means achim bechusin mehen. Acherim, new garments that are less of value than the original garments that he was wearing before. And therefore, when he performs the afternoon avodah in the linen garments, it's with lesser quality linen than the earlier garments that he wore in the morning.